Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Punatu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvina Vadidamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Have you been trying to manifest your goals, but you feel as if time is against you? Most people are running around every day in a race against time, or at least that's how it can feel. But there is a highly effective way to harness time that stems from ancient Indian teachings, and it can help you become more balanced and peaceful, and thus successful with what you wish to create. In today's episode, we will explore the connection between time management and the manifestation process in greater detail, so that you can understand how to use time to your benefit and ultimately feel victorious in life. Namaste and welcome to the Spiritual Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Alexandra Savithri, Director of the American Reiki Academy and the Vedic Healing Center. I'm a Reiki Master, Vedic Healing Master, and spiritual life coach who has practiced and taught spiritual self-development and healing for more than 30 years, led pilgrimages to India, and studied with blessed Indian gurus. In this show, we cover topics related to metaphysics, Reiki, Vedic healing, yoga, manifestation, spiritual growth, and feng shui, based upon my studies and work in these disciplines. The aim of this show is to help you awaken, develop, and tap into your spiritual power in order for you to manifest love, happiness, success, well-being, peace, and productivity, so you may blossom into the highest expression of you. Welcome to today's episode, which is entitled, Make Friends with Time and Manifest Your Dreams. When you think about your dreams and aspirations, do you sometimes feel as if time is against you? When we are little children, we feel that we have tons of time, and actually we may barely even think about the idea of time. Probably you can relate to that feeling of when you were young, that feeling where you could not wait to grow up, and actually it was seeming to take forever. Then, of course, as we got older, our birthdays started to fly by, and we began having a greater respect for the passage of time, understanding how important it really is to cherish moments with our families and our friends. So recently, I started thinking about how time pertains to the manifestation of our dreams and goals, and how the two relate to one another. And this year I began to consciously work with time differently so that I could accomplish what I'm here to accomplish. Today I want to share with you some tips that have been effective for me, as well as some knowledge from ancient India that is so important for all of us in the effective manifestation of our dreams, and ultimately in the mastery of our life journeys. So let's start today with the premise that you have many important goals, as we all do. These goals are not just the ramblings of your imagination. They are actually the very important things that you and only you can accomplish. They represent aspects of your particular life mission, that mission that only you can fulfill. I like to see them as assignments from the divine. And it is important that we honor these assignments, which means ultimately bringing them to fruition. So many times we hear people say that we should not leave this world with regrets. I have a feeling that much of this regret later in life comes from not fulfilling the yearnings of our souls, not listening or even hearing or perceiving those yearnings. And by the time we start to become aware of them, we feel it is too late. Therefore, today, as you listen to this, I'd like to suggest that you make the decision that you will not ignore the inner messages about your unique and particular path any longer, and instead begin acting upon such messages. Now, back to time. So today's episode was about the connection between time and the manifestation of your dreams, of your life's purpose. So how can we accomplish the things we have been assigned to do and work with time rather than being at the effect of time? Because when we learn to work with time, our dreams start to naturally come into being. It's like they just start occurring, and it feels almost magical. I use that word a lot in my classes and other gatherings. I like that word, magical, because it implies something that is so fun and is so beyond what the mental body can conceive of. So today, let me offer you 3 tips. I'm not giving a lot of tips today about this connection between time and your manifestation abilities. Just 3 tips, but I'm going to expand on each one a little bit. So the first tip is, I'd like to suggest that you start watching how you speak about time. Remember that in the world of metaphysics, your words hold power. Now, meta means beyond. So metaphysics means beyond the physical plane, metaphysical or metaphysics, beyond the physical plane. So while our actions are very important, because obviously we're in physical bodies, so are all of the energies that are behind our actions. And the spoken word is one way we create energy. So do you say things like, there is never enough time in the day? Instead, start saying the opposite. Say something like, there is plenty of time in the day. Do you say, time is always working against me? Instead, say, time is my great friend, supporting and working with me. The way in which you speak about time, and in fact about anything in your life, is so important because it dictates how things occur. It directs the movement of energy in your life. Therefore, your thoughts create your reality, but so do your words. And this is one reason, for instance, that we chant. We select a mantra and we chant it over and over and over again because it is the chanting of these sacred sounds that creates a change in the atmosphere. So your words hold power, and start to notice how you speak about time and the manifestation of your dreams. What are you saying about these things occurring or not occurring, or the pressures of time and not having enough time, and start consciously speaking differently. One interesting concept from probably many religions, but I know in India we use this concept of being in silence, and the term is called mauna, when somebody decides to be in a state of silence. This could go on for hours, it could go on for days, but people will decide not to speak for a certain time period. And it's an incredible exercise, because when you come out of it, you choose your words very carefully, very deliberately, and you start to become aware of what you are speaking in a more profound way than maybe we do during the day. Often we just kind of talk and not really pay attention to the words we are uttering. This is also why a mantra helps us so much. When we chant the mantra, it actually purifies our speech, so that the words which come out of our mouths come out with a deliberate intention. They come out in a space of peace, in a space of love, in a space of well-being for others around us, and we choose those words more wisely. So that first tip about time relating to manifestation was to simply start watching how you speak about time in your life. Now, the second tip is to look at each year as having blocks of time that you can master. Indeed, thousands and thousands of years ago, some brilliant people invented ways to mark the passage of time in ancient civilizations. So our time on this earth was divided into days, weeks, months, years. And now it is up to each of us to master these blocks that we know exist. And every January, we are given another year and another set of 12 blocks of time, 12 months, weeks, days that we can put into use, good use in our lives. So around January, of course, the first of the year, and also around your birthday, there is usually some conscious attention put on time. But instead, start putting conscious attention on time on a more regular basis. And one way you can do this is make a drawing and put it up where you can see it on the paper, or on a piece of paper, or on your refrigerator, and divide the year into blocks representing months. I mean, obviously you could do this with a calendar if you wanted, but I like to hand draw it and place into the months what you intend to create. So remember, I said that spoken words have power. So do your intentions that you bring from energy form to paper in the way of writing. I just spoke to you a couple of minutes ago about chanting mantras. In India, we also write mantras over and over as one way to move energy. So it's not just chanting the mantra, it would be writing it over and over and over and over again. And in writing your goals onto paper, you are moving energy from your mind and your imagination onto the physical plane and placing these goals into the months on your paper. It's like kind of like a giant to-do list for the year, but without the pressure. It's just broken down into months. And when you look at it, you bring it into being, you call it into being, you breathe life into it through your internal energy, your focus, your desire. So add to this paper or your board on the refrigerator. I have a wipe erase board that I use. Keep it dynamic. Don't let it get stale. It's a work in progress. You can draw on it. You can write on it. It's the representation of your grand creations, and it's divided into months that you can see. If you feel like your dreams are not happening, add to the list. It's really a magical paper that only you need to know about. Keep it handy. Look at it. I have one on my desk and I have one on the refrigerator. Write on it. Believe in what you are writing and keep writing. If it looks like it's gotten a little stale and doesn't really feel like it has any energy to it anymore, or you stopped writing on it, just erase it and redo it. And sometimes it helps also to, if you are redoing it, look back at what you have accomplished. So look back at the months and note what you have done in those months that have moved you towards your dream and where you are right now. So at the beginning, and this is the third tip for today, at the beginning, I spoke to you about secrets from India that have to do with time. And while I'm sure these secrets are inherent to other indigenous cultures, I have studied wisdom from spiritual India. So these teachings are familiar to me from India. And here is the basic secret I want to share. It's so basic, and you might laugh when you hear it, but just let me expand upon it a little bit so that you can see the value. The basic secret in working with time and the manifestation of your dreams is to follow the sun. Simple. What happens is you will then start mastering time and, in fact, have an abundance of it. Now, a long time ago, of course, there was no electricity, so people had to follow the sun. It was logical. At night, they couldn't see in the dark in order to hunt or build homes, and so that was when they slept. But there was more to it than logic. They were actually feeling the energy on the planet, and following the sun put them into natural alignment with the earth, with the movement of the planets. And so it was natural to do all your important activities when the sun was high in the sky, to eat your meals when, this is an Ayurvedic principle actually, to eat your biggest meal when the sun is highest in the sky. It is so incredible when you start to do this. In yogic teachings, we are advised to rise early, wash, and start our sadhana, our spiritual practice, before sunrise. This is because there are pristine, magical energies available to us at this time. This time actually has a name. It's called Brahma Muhurta. It is the time of Brahma, or the Creator's time. So in the Hindu teachings, the divine energy creates life, holds life, right? Sustains life. It's in existence for some time. Your life is going. And then life is destroyed. So we're always moving through this cycle. The day is born, it lives, it dies. A flower is planted and it grows and lives for some time and then it dies. And so this time of creation is the early morning. This Brahma, Brahma is the creator. This period falls very early. It's 1 hour and 36 minutes before sunrise. Recently, a friend of mine asked me why I make myself get up early and complain, and I do, if I get off of this schedule. So I tried to explain this to her. For much of my life, I was actually a night owl, and I do love to stay up late. There are also very special energies late at night, but those energies are actually supposed to be utilized for dream time. So once I shifted to embrace this basic teaching of following the sun that we find in yoga and in Ayurveda, my life started to expand in magical ways. This time in the early morning, so depending on where you live and the time of the sunrise, you have to calculate it, and you can consult Google. But it's typically very early in the morning, around 4 a.m., again, depending on where you live. This is a time to do spiritual work, yoga, meditation, chanting, prayer. And the period is, again, 1 hour and 36 minutes before sunrise. But it is a 48-minute period, and you will feel it. You will sense something in the atmosphere where everything is different. It's very quiet. You are connected to other realms at that time. You are naturally coming out of sleep, so your consciousness is kind of in a very mystical space. It's before the world has woken up. So again, this is a time for you to do your spiritual work, your yoga, your meditation, your chanting, your prayer, your intention setting. But it's also a time, and I want to stress this, of listening. So too often we're putting out requests, either from our vocal cords where we're talking all day, we're putting forth energy in the world, or even in prayer, we're asking for help. This is a time of just identifying, just communing with this divine energy on the planet, of receiving. And then you'll start to feel the atmosphere change and wake up, and you'll hear the birds chirping, and you'll sense some movement outside. And then you can move into more of your dynamic prayer or your dynamic work in the morning, but use this period. It will pave the way for your successful manifestations. It will give you an increased alertness. It will decrease stress. It will give you a greater presence of mind and well-being. It will cause great expansion within, which in turn will help you bring your dreams into reality. In other words, to manifest your dreams. So one thing that is sure in life is the passage of time. When we start to work with it and not just let the days and months slip along without any intentional embracing of time, then things really accelerate in our lives. I remember often the words of my guru in India, who used to say, the Vedic teachings ask of every human being that we pose 3 questions to ourselves daily. And those questions are, who am I? Why am I here? And how can I best fulfill my purpose? And so when we start to question like this, we really begin to value time in our lives and value this notion that we are here as individual souls with particular purposes that must be fulfilled. And we feel good. We feel happy when we're in alignment with our paths. We know that, let's say you're working on a project and it's part of something you're supposed to accomplish. You don't know why, but you just feel like this is something you're supposed to bring forth. We can feel that inside. We get excited. We say, yes, this is a vibrational match. This makes me feel as if I am fulfilling something that I am here to do. And it's such a wonderful feeling to be really consciously aligned with these 3 questions that put us then in turn into alignment with our life's purposes. So today, I hope this was helpful to inspire you to work with time in your life and work with it effectively and not feel as if time is directing you in any kind of negative way, using the energy of time that we've been given on this planet, this precious time, and just know that the passage of time will be there, of course, but we can dance with it, dance with the time. It's one of the teachings of Lord Shiva when he is in the form of Nataraj, dancing Shiva, we call him Nataraj. And he reminds us of the movement of time, the movement of everything, that everything is in flux, everything is in constant movement. So we cannot get stuck, we cannot get stagnant, we cannot remain in one place. So move with time, let it carry you and embrace you and help further your dreams along. If you're ready to improve your manifestation abilities and create your dreams by using spiritual techniques and healing practices that are truly available to all who seek, please feel free to visit our website to learn more or contact me directly if I can be of any assistance. Thank you for joining me today. Let's embark on this journey of manifestation together and bring our dreams to life, because the universe needs what you have come here to say, to be, to have, to create, to produce in the world. This I'm absolutely sure of. Om Asatoma Sagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sai Ram. Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Jai Guruji. Hare Krishna. Om Namah Shivaya.